When the jazz stops, I begin. Thank you for that line, Angel. Welcome, everybody. It's good to have a packed house here in the Office of Collecting and Design. For those who haven't been here before, that stands for OCD, because as you can see, the owner of this place has definitely got a little OCD going on. But Jessica is fantastic. She's a filmmaker, a design collector, the whole works. If you get a chance, check out not only the museum that she has, but her documentaries that she has out front, and you can watch them, I believe, on Canopy as well. So you can watch them. Google is what. Ask Jessica. She's here. Again, welcome. This is an intimate evening of poetry at the Office of Collecting and Design. This is our second season that we've done this, and this year we decided to do themes for the poems, and so we're really excited to have our regular poets and new poets coming in to participate with us. This was the second to the last one of this season, and it is Sensuality. So we're really excited. The very last one next month will be Fear and Loathing. It doesn't matter where you are, there's fear and loathing. So for those who don't know, my name is Shwa Laytart. I will be your host this evening, and I'll read you a few poems of my own as well.
Yay!
So Sensuality. I'll try and keep my shirt on. I thought I'd start us all off in bed. So the title of this poem is Bedtime. Now, when I first started this out, I was giving descriptions of styles of poetic forms, and that's what I would be reading. So I thought I'd get back to that on this one here. Here I use a handful of the same words in a repetition poetic form, giving those same words a bit of a different visual, if you will. Also, this can be considered an event poem because there's an event that's about to happen. You're about to see. So, bedtime. Your warmth is a comforting blanket that slips under and over my skin. Tucked in at the toes when it's cold, draping over my layers of skin. Your love is the perfect pillow to calm my eternal spin, comforting my worried thoughts, relaxing my external spin. Your warm, pillowy love blankets me with comforting layers that slowly evaporate when you're not near. So slip under and over, drape your skin in mine, and we'll spin off into eternity each and every single night. Thank you. Coming to bed. So I'm always excited to be up here and reading my work, but we're so fortunate to have so many great talented poets here in Las Vegas, and Avantpop has been lucky enough to work with some of them, and one of the poets / I'll just say writers, because we're all just writers when it comes to poetry, is somebody we're working on a new project with, which is all about sensuality. It's a choose your own adventure sensuality short stories. And I'm really excited because this writer has been performing on a level that is inspiring, and the professionalism and the work ethic of this writer has been fantastic, and it's somebody that I want to continue to work with. So please help me bring up the stage here, Margaret The Dreamer.
Oh my gosh. I know.
She knows how to work.
I'm very glad there's no microphone this time because I definitely do not need it. Okay, so there's going to be a few who don't know me out here. My name's Margaret The Dreamer. I do shorter form poetry, so I do have a lot for you guys. When it's over, I'll say Finn, so you know, oh yeah, that's when I snap. Oh, okay. I'm a tall poet, but I do shorter poems, right? I do have a whole little set list, and I did write a couple new things for you guys. But before we get into it, we are going to talk about a ton of sexy stuff, which is what we're here for, right? But I just want to read to you guys the Merriam-Webster's definition of sensual real quick, just so you can know where I might segue. Relating to or consisting in the gratification of the senses or the indulgence of appetites. So just keep it in mind. This first piece is untitled. Fire of desire consumes me, saucy, sultry, seductive yearning, in need, insatiable at this table. Ready for the frenzied feeding, I hunger, I thirst. Wet, 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 my appetite, please. Wet, 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 my appetite to please. Ride the waves with me, rock the boat with me, stroke, stroke, stroke with me. Let's go overboard. Feeling shown through sensory, sensual touch, the best way I know to bring you to your knees while curling your toes. Still, I try through prose to let the poetry bring us close, even without our clothes. Finn. Thank you guys. So this is called Bubble Bubble Ushi's Trouble. It's like a witchy theme. I did write it for the last Doom poetry I did with Avantpop, but it's not exclusively Halloween because I'm witchy vibes all year. I think a lot of you here might be if you like poetry. Stirring up my witch's brew, I put a spell on you because you're fine. Love potion, the juice. Night rider, riding this broomstick a little bit different. Pointed hat trick for a frequent flyer. Cauldron cooking, smoldering magical heat. A delicious treat sparkling and sweet. Masterful wand handler, enchanted flick of the wrist. Charming lustful candor, wrapped in mesmerized bliss. And the only curse I'd ever lay on you is the curse that I won't lay on you. So if you act right, you find yourself in some supernatural delight in your life tonight. Finn, that's just for some fun. I have a couple haikus real quick, but we're going to call them quickies for the situation we're in here. This one's titled, Come One, Come All. Fuck, you feel so good. Don't stop, keep going almost. Ah, sweet conclusion. That's the end of that one. This one's called Delectable. Sensuality, sizzling, dripping on your lips, irresistible. Finn. So I'm going to set this down and take a drink because I got a couple of them memorized for you guys and I'd like to. I'm thirsty from my own stuff. So this piece is called Encore. I love to perform. I love to give joyful, pleasing, and teasing, going for leaving you breathless, gasps in awe, wheezing. I love to perform. I can be the ringmaster or the star of the show. You just have to let me know. We don't need to take it fast. We can take it nice and slow, creating a new tempo. I love to perform. I love taking cues, looking for clues, paying my dues, making what you desire, my muse, drinking from the flow of your deluge. I love to perform. I love to play a part inside of your art, making you feel the beating of your heart ringing in your ears until it becomes clear that I love to perform. And the thing I'm always aiming for is the encore. Woo! So I wrote this new piece for you guys, and I'm probably going to get a little tongue-tied on it. It's called Alluring Alliteration. Some of you are here. Alliteration poems typically use the same letter at the beginning of the word, but there's an interesting twist to this one. Secluded seduction, salacious, secretive, so scrumptious, signaling sweet sensations, stimulating senses, serving serendipitous serenity. Enjoying every element equally, emphatic emotions evoked, engaging eagerly, entertaining endorphins, endlessly endorse, enthusiastically, energetic elation. X-rated, extra, exuberant, exotic, exciting, exhale, Xanax-esque, exalted exchange. X-rayed examinations, exquisite, extravagant exhibitions, exclamations, expel, and xylophonic exaction. And that spells out sex in case you missed the action. This is, all right, I know we're having fun and like I do a good job at projecting the sexuality. This is probably, I'm about to read something for you guys that I finished. I want to make clear before I say this that when I say dick, you can sub in any genitals because it's for everybody. Okay? Because I'm for everybody. But I've never actually said dick out loud in a performance like this, so I'm just trying to like mentally be ready for it.
Give us your dick.
Oh, okay. This is brand new shit. I literally just finished it. Like, it's been cooking for a long time, but I just finished it like maybe 2 hours before I came here. This is called Everyone's a Winner. I'll write my name on your heart, but so you don't forget, I'll make sure to spell it out on your dick. Slow at first, then quick, quick. And please remember this part. Once these lips part, I can do it with either pair. It's not even fair that I can't be compared. There are no distractions when it comes to my bringing you satisfaction. Simply enthusiastic action. Watching your reactions. See, being with you inside is too divine, making me feel more than inclined to ride you all the way to the finish line and claim my prize. But you are the real winner, Finn. It's very new. It's a little rough. All right, so remember we said sensual is like stimulating your senses and things you have strong appetites for. So it's not only regulated to sex. So I wanted to talk about romance in a cerebral way because a few things that stimulate my senses beyond just the bevy of sexual fun things is definitely cerebral thinking. So this piece is called True Romantic. Which version of love is the most authentic? Speaking in romance and carnality, what is the true reality? That lifetime love, someone to lean on, fall asleep on, by your side until the grave? Or those moments in passion and reaction to the urges and connection and feeling reflection? Time isn't linear anyway, so who's to say? Is real love defined by our need to possess, our request to deny our base to save face? Is this our saving grace? Or maybe it's to love without bounds wherever the connections are found, to love and feel freely as our hearts and desires present clearly, without expectation, forgoing insecurity for elation. Which version of love is the most authentic? I have no answer, and in each way of love, I am a romantic. Finn. Thank you guys. So I'm very inspired and extremely stimulated by togetherness that's not just sexual, just a general cosmetic community togetherness. So I definitely found a way to like work a couple of those in there, and I'm gonna do them now. This piece is called Tidal, like a wave, not like the title, even though it is the title of the poem. We are all energy, vibrations connected through ebb and flow. Our energy passes through time, and if we channel it right, we grow. Not just inspiration. To be inspired comes with a chain of events, awe and drive. We build upon each other's art, be it whatever it may. Add new perspectives to perspective. Here we thrive. Not a wannabe or a has-been. If your inspiration from someone caused creation, you build upon their vision. We conduct their energy through ourselves, so the vibes are crucial to our station. These connections are vital, actual life force within the blood, heart, and soul. Truths and visions, with all of our highs and lows. We are Tidal. Finn. Thank you guys. This piece is called Listen. When the air feels like light, it brings me delight. Wispy pull brought forward from my senses. somehow gentle although dense. Breathing in inspiration, inhaling all the provocation to feel, create, and live out loud brightly. Thoughts and ideas bounce around lively. When I notice that vibrating higher, it's impossible not to admire, unhampered by doubt. This is truly what life is about. It's all within us, yet we bury it away, becoming hidden within the fray. You can be who you are precisely, truly, and delightfully. This universe is in you, and you can take part in it too. There's so much happiness to be given if we only listen, Finn. I saved one more very salacious one to stick in here, and I got two more after that. They're all short, but this piece is called Summertime in Heat. It is definitely what I wish it was. I find it very anti-woman, anti-gay, and anti-ho for there to be a wintertime. It's just not cool at all. I don't get to be my best self in like layers of clothes. I'm sorry. This piece is called Summertime in Heat. Passion I have radiates from the heart, burns in my loins, wet and deep like the ocean. I beg you to join. The zeal I have for life, you feel it in my eyes, my touching you sensuously, listening to your desired cries. I'm strongly longing to please, to bring you to your knees from intense pleasures. Pleasures my body gives you can't be measured. Captivated, wild souls caught in an instant, lust giving and receiving, drinking you into my magic, and feeling is believing. Finn. Now this piece, it's not exactly sensual, but it deals with womanhood and femininity and its innateness, which if we look at the world we live in and everything that moves sensuality, I think this does apply in a way if we're going to speak on it. So this piece is called Pretty Woman. Is it vain or is it self-reflection? To spend time making eyes at the mirror just for my pleasure. Validation and shame. Attempts to feel free and to be me, critiqued for seeking my treasure. Cocky or confident? Who really defines the line they're in? Who truly defines the line that they're in? Self-absorbed. I'm trying to soak up myself with love, the love I held out of reach, so above. Finn. I'm going to leave you guys with a little bit of love. This last very short piece is called Sweetness. Sweeter than I love you is I prayed for you. No, 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 how can that even be? You see, I love you is a prayer, the deepest and purest one. Finn. Thank you, guys. Stick around, yeah.
Margaret The Dreamer, everybody.
Thank you.
Now, we are in a poly publishing relationship with Margaret. You can find her work by Cosmic Q, who publishes her work over at Avantpop. So. Well, this next piece that I'm going to do, if you've ever been to the bookstore, you'll see that we have a huge We Must Burroughs section. And I always found Burroughs fascinating because he experimented with words and sentences and how he wrote and just all of writing. And as someone who's dyslexic, I always find that I'm playing with words too to make sense to my brain, and it makes sense, it seems, but not always to everyone. But wordplay is something that I find fascinating. So in 2020, a local restaurant here would have artists and writers do little pieces for their menu. So Sugar, my wife, does art, and she loves doing one-liners. And so she did a little one-liner for their 2020 menu, and I wrote a poem. She did get picked up, and they did not pick up my poem. Luckily, COVID hit, and so... But anyway, so I did a poem in the style of the 1920s, and I used... Here, I even wrote a little something here. I'm happy to... So you see, what I did was I found slang words and terms used in the 1920s to create a love poem about two lovers. One lover is stunning, while the other one is just stunned. So the title of this poem is Your Roar. You, my dear, should be on the silver screen, not bumping around town with a bimbo like me. You're the bee's knees, all sweet honey and berries, a ferocious bear-cat symphony. You hotsy-totsy fresh tomato, a spliffication Sheba, choice bit of calico. A tall glass of water, a shimmering star, with what you're working with, darling, you're destined to go far. Never a blue nose, never a canceled stamp. Cash in a smooch on the cheek with this zozzled tramp. You, my dear, should be on a silver screen, but I'm glad you're here with a dew-dropper like me. Oh, well, speaking of passion, our next poet coming up is one of my favorite poets to watch. I mean, everybody here is so fantastic, but we don't get this poet out enough because he as well just opened up a bookstore up in North Las Vegas. We are being graced with his presence tonight and tomorrow night as well. So we also host our Doom Poetry event, which a lot of the poets have been here, have performed there. And if you haven't gone, it's over at Red Dwarf across the street. Super fun event, free for everyone. Come get dark and demented with us over there. But we did ask, because it's the holidays, for Roderick to come up and do some hope within the doomness that we perform. And so he will be there the next 2 months to hopefully bring some shining light into our apocalyptic mind frames. So please, Roderick D. Talley, please come on up and share with us.
Roderick.
Actually, for that event tomorrow, I actually had some Doom poems, but now I'm going to have to change my lineup. That's okay, though. I think I can do it. So I got 3 short poems for you all. No, 4 poems altogether. The first 3 are fairly short. And the last one, I'll tell you about the last one when we get there. But I'm not, so this first one, I'm not really a person who likes to, I don't know, figure out canny things to say when it came to ladies. I mean, fortunately, I haven't had to do that in a long time. We've been married almost 9 years. But before that, I was just like, man, I'm not really good at the throwing pickup lines thing. So one of my... I'm okay now. So this poem, I kind of wrote this as a way to be like, no, let me test my skills in that. So this poem is just called Pickup Rhymes.
Oh, cute.
Beautiful Queen, my lady. Your inner light can be seen from both within and without, even before a single word is released from your lovely mouth. Your inner light attracts positive energy naturally. So naturally that when that moon comes out at night, it tends to focus on you, displaying you under a spotlight. And I don't blame that moon for giving you that much deserved attention, because I've lost count on all the things about you that made me give my undivided attention. Please forgive me for my staring. I don't mean to come off as disrespectful. I've just never seen a woman's beauty presented so radiantly and so bountiful. I now know for certain that God exists, because, woman, you are truly a miracle. In fact, I'm thinking of now as I walk away, amazed at your beauty and how somehow you remain humble. Thank you. Great. Y'all like that one? Awesome. All right. I'm a big, I love everything about women. I made sure my wife knew that when we met. there was a lot of things mentally that really just grasped me about my wife when we met. Yeah, this one is kind of on the mental side of sensuality. So it's called mental vibration. It was your walk that briefly caught my attention, yet your thought process is what has kept my attention. The way that you think of your future possibilities, the way that you seek the good aspects in me, the way that you trust your heart into loving all people while protecting it enough in case they don't treat you as equal. You make it look so easy to forgive those who hurt you and move on. And I must say, there are countless ways in which you turn me on. Our conversations give me energy like I'm a kid all over again. Your intellect mixed with your humor and humility has me wanting to be more than just your friend. I want to press forward and see where the depths of your love end, yet the thought of losing your trust is something that my mind just can't comprehend. So I play it cool, for now, and enjoy every moment in your company, enjoying how every musical note of your voice sparks emotion in me, enjoying how my eyes are glued to how you carry your physique, sending electricity to my brain waves to the point where I can no longer speak. That's it. Thank you.
Aww. Oh, was that published or something? We're not talking about it.
Pretty much. All these except for my last one is published. Don't know if I'll put that one out, but I'll see. We'll get there. We're almost there. My next one is more of a love piece. I'm big on making sure I live and lead by example and let people know, hey, there are people that are happily married. People that are really trying to work together, and I'm living proof of that, and I've been blessed to know other people who are living proof of that. And it's important that we show that, because it's marriage has unfortunately has such a bad tarnish, like a bad name to it, a bad ring to it sometimes. So it's important to know that people really do enjoy the marriage thing. So this one is called Fingerprints. Sitting in my car, and I notice a small handprint on the driver's side window. I smirk at the familiarity of it, and it's my queen's fingerprints on the window. She has a habit of doing it, yet she never remembers doing it. I never minded though, because I have fond memories of just her small fingerprints. Like how the touch of them has left quite an intriguing imprint on my life. How the touch of them had snatched my attention before she even became my wife. How the grace of them keeps my heart softened even to this day. How her soothing rubs tend to naturally rub my anger and stress away. How they massage my temples. Oof, them headaches. How they softly pinch my dimples. How they embrace me in their hugs. How they rub my beard with love. Her prints are all over me, and other women can see them when they approach me, preventing them from even thinking about trying to get too close to me, in case that's on their mind. Although I just washed the car, I almost don't want to clean her prints off. In fact, I'll let them stay on a while for friendly memories before cleaning them off.
I don't do it that often. Just
I told you. That's it. All right, for this last one, I kind of flip it a little bit. I wanted to get some erotica in, if you guys don't mind.
hell yeah.
It's kind of interesting because I usually do write poems of hope, transitioning into better and higher levels of life. But I actually started out doing poetry with a lot of erotica and anger poems.
Hell yeah.
And so quite liberating.
Love that.
Got me in some trouble sometimes, honestly. But it's been a long time since I've done those, and I wanted to kind of just test myself and be like, you know what? Let me see if you still got the skill. Step outside your box. So I'm gonna let y'all be the judge of this. Hopefully y'all like it. It's called Lips in Sync. Mm-hmm. I knew it was trouble when I looked into your eyes, locking with mine. I lost my train of thought as your grin formed across your cheek line. I couldn't help but notice your silhouette as you walked my way. You complimented my smiling lips, and it damn near took my breath away. Thick, brown, and gorgeous. Clearly a masterpiece. Luscious as moist cake. And I damn sure wanted a piece. I couldn't hide my excitement too long as my heart pounded through my chest. Damn, something told me not to wear these gray sweats. Embarrassed, I quickly excused myself and darted outside for fresh air. Just as I started collecting myself, though, I looked up and you were standing right there. You asked me to walk you to your car, and I gave you a response that was honest. I said, girl, I'll get you there safely, but keeping my hands off of you, I cannot promise. I'm not my normal self right now, and if you get too close, you might just get frisked. Your laugh intoxicated me even more as you replied, I'll take the risk. Now, I managed to tame myself and keep my hands off you until you reached your car. You offered to give me a ride to mine's, but when we hopped in, you didn't start the car. Gently grabbing my hand, you softly said, your lips. Those next few seconds went by slowly as I watched you bite your lips. Now, side note, I've always thanked God for creating women and the feeling of their embrace. But tonight, I pledge to show my appreciation through you to the entire female race.
Yeah. Yep.
My... My lips gently met yours, slowly enjoying them in their sweet taste. You grasped the back of my head as my kisses made down the side of your face. Your breathing, moans, and grasp on my head intensified as I reached your neck. Therefore, I extended my time there, placing soft kisses all across your neck. Down to your collarbones and shoulders. Your breathing just kept getting bolder. Down to your beautiful breasts. Your peaks were already erect. I took my time with each of them. With my lips and tongue, I thoroughly thanked them. Circle my kisses around your torso, back up to your shoulders too, making sure my kisses greeted each one of your tattoos. Kiss my way down to your thighs and made my way from outside to inside. Your body's temperature and moisture continued to rise as my lips met your lips between your thighs.
Hey.
Sucking and swallowing your juices as if I were taking shots, indulging in your life-giving parts and pleasing your G-spot. Your juices ran down my beard and retreated as I retreated from your thighs. And I'll never forget that pleased drunken look that you had in your eyes. The windows were already fogged up when you climbed on top and mounted up. You faced forward like on horseback and gave me the reins before looking back. My manhood slowly entered between your thighs. Baby, you might want to buckle up. Our slow grind progressively became a gallop. The moisture in your car gradually piled up. Both time and thrust sped up simultaneously, entered a natural high as the pleasure increased. My palms and fingertips kept a firm grip on your hips, preventing your body sweat from creating unwanted slips. Rubs and smacks on your rear cheeks just added fuel to your fire. I felt your drenching climax multiple times, yet your pace somehow didn't tire. Yet when you did get tired, I took control and wouldn't allow you to stop. That is until we were interrupted by knocks on your window by a lady cop.
Oh no.
Gotta take that elsewhere, she calmly said before departing. I almost invited her to join us.
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming. I knew it.
I almost invited her to join us, but I didn't want any drama in our party. We laughed at the fact that we were seen as you moved back into the driver's seat. Took a moment to catch our breaths and got dressed. I asked, "You hungry?" Your hair was in disarray. A few of your manicured nails had chipped away. You shook your head yes. It took a few moments to catch your breath. I asked if we could find some quick food and offered it to be my treat. But you softly replied, "I got it this time. You'll cover the tab the next time we meet." Thank you.
Is this a true story? Is that based on life?
So I take it that y'all actually like this song?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're actually only the second crowd to hear that from me. So this is but thank y'all for coming.
Roderick D, everybody, come on now. Yeah. Well, we're gonna take a quick cold shower break and a smoke break. After that, I think that did the job. We got a couple more poets coming up. So we have a bathroom key if you'd like to use it. We still have more drinks out here. We're gonna take a break for about 10, 15 minutes or so. Have your smokes, get some water, use the restroom. All right, folks. We'll be back in just a bit. All right, we ready? All right, well,
Poetry going.
welcome back, everybody. My TED Talk is over. Thanks for not leaving. All right. Let's see. I got a couple more for you as well. Thanks for coming back, everybody. We still have two more fantastic poets that we're really excited about. We did lose two poets. One came back from New Jersey, I believe it was, and got COVID. And so she said, "I can still come." And we said, no. No, she didn't say that. But Gracie Garrett wasn't able to join us. And then Lashana as well. If you've been to any of the poetry readings that we've done or around town, she's a fantastic poet.
Lashana's awesome.
And unfortunately, she had some family matters that she had to take care of. So, but that does not mean we don't have more fantastic poets for you. And in fact, we have one of our favorite sensual poets coming up this evening as well. But before we get to that, I'm gonna give you one of mine. Right?
Yay!
So,
Give it to me, Daddy.
this is. So I noticed that. We appreciate that. I don't hear that enough anymore. So I've noticed that when I look at styles of poetic form, that I tend to do certain styles quite a bit, and one is a style of repetition. Now this one is in the poetic form of anaphora, which I just love that word. It's like a nice, sexy word itself. So it's like anaphora, yeah. Which means that a poem begins with the same words, the same line, the same phrase to each portion of the verse.
I didn't even know what that was
Yeah,
called.
I know.
I
That's a nice, sexy word to go with it, which is better than the one. It's like ephany, or the one where the word ends the same, which is a little more depth to it. So this one's a little fresher. Anyways, so this is a love poem that I tried to do. You know, a lot of I was telling outside earlier that a lot of my love poems have been balanced with doom. So I try and get a little silly with it, if you will, and just compare my love throughout the apocalypse as we're trying to survive. But this one I went a little lighter on this and just try to have fun. This title of this poem is Squeezes. I give you all my squeezes, all my smirks, all my smiles. They're just some of my perks. I give you all my deep breaths and all my sighs, all my stares. There's just you and I give you all my assurance, all of my faith, all of my trust. There's just us and space. Pull me close, and together we ride. We're just about to hit our stride. I give you all my dreams and all my nights, all my love. So squeeze me tight.
Cute.
I don't know if that was a sensual response I wanted. You're adorable. Cutie pie. It's hard to follow Roderick. But easy to follow me. So there's another poet that is around town hitting the scene quite a bit, and we're excited to have him. A bit of a punk rocker, a bit of standalone, a bit hardcore, and for the little package that they are, their poetry really steps out and speaks to the passion in all of us. Stephi Blue, come on up.
Yay!
Hi, y'all. What's up?
Hello.
So, I recognize some people here and maybe some new faces. If you didn't know, I'm a local Las Vegas poet and writer, and I've been doing poetry like my whole life, but I've been performing and co-hosting at the Campfire LV.
This Wednesday.
This Wednesday at Rebar. I co-host, but I also write a lot of poetry, and I've been writing for a long time. So, yeah, I have some. It's funny, like, I don't really regard myself as a sensual poet, so I'm really glad that Margaret kind of detailed what sensuality was, because to me, I'm gonna go into really like intimacy and more like not, like it doesn't always have to be focused around like sexuality. So for me, like sensuality is just that like those intimate moments as well as
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna get real deep in here, but I'm gonna start off with a really sexual poem. Probably the
I
only
know
sexual.
You got a sexy one. Stop playing.
Probably my only sexual poem I have. So yeah, this is if you've been to Campfire, you've heard this one before. It's called Eclipse. Okay. There are things one needs in life, and that is to be fucked right, mutually and consensually. I'm not talking the diddle-doddle of one-way reciprocation reserved to lovers who may not even like each other. No, I'm saying I need to grip the sheets as the earth shatters, every bone creaking, every muscle engaged, while licking and biting every inch of flesh within inside of my maw. Yes, I want it raw and unfiltered. Passion, pleasure, pain, all the same. When you're giving in to every instinct that tells you to rip this person to shreds between kisses and rapid heartbeats. A lover intertwined between sheets and wait, what was that? A whisper growing within the confines of your thighs until a sound of thunder erupts. Oh my god, sorry. A sudden but always building symphony. You and I are the sun and moon, eclipsed in an unholy syzygy, liquefied lust living in laminar flow, lost in paradise for a brief time before collapsing under the weight of cosmic union. I am a slave to my desires, prostrated in pious passion, ready for communion. Speak to me in tongues of fire and air, so I may ignite and immolate for Babylon. Existing for love is all I've ever done, for it is the law to love under will, like stars colliding, but each with its own wish to fulfill. Yes, I need life-changing sex like right now. That was fun. Yeah. A lot of like, I like to kind of mix in religious imagery obviously. A lot of church trauma. It's great. Makes for great sex. So, you know. But other than that, relating to church trauma, I do have some old shit.
Old shit?
I do have some old shit that I wrote kind of surrounding about, the next two poems are kind of surrounding about that type of shame and feeling you get when you're growing up and you're taught that this is wrong. Like, you know, like natural desire is wrong, which it's not. So, I hope we're all like can open up to that.
Yes.
This one is called Innocence. When I was younger, I was obsessed with my innocence. I was taught that God was watching and that my urges were evil. I wondered, why am I like this? I must be a bad person. Every night I asked God to forgive me for my lust, my human sin. All I wanted to be was pious and pure, the way God intended us to be. And then I hit puberty. All the lies taught to me began to fade. Instead of praying every day, I realize now it's normal to feel this way. These desires and temptations are natural. Embrace them. Never be ashamed. They're more divine than God, more present than the patriarchy. Your body is a temple, a church of your own making. Make it hot. Make it any way you want it. Just don't hurt anybody and you will be innocent by definition. And this one is called Rain Showers. Rain clouds in the distance make me happy. They shroud me from the sun. I've never liked being looked at in the sunlight because you might see me clearly. I used to wish I was a boy. I used to wish if I had kids, they would also be boys. And I didn't want them to grow up feeling how I felt, my blossoming body becoming foreign guilt. Aphrodite celebrated for her voluptuous form, but beauty incarnate, but Zeus forbid if she becomes a whore. Forbidden sexuality and double standards. If she opens her garden to all those to seek to bask in her blooms, then they trample her delicate stems and she withers. Roses are red, violets are blue. What have I done to you? Alright, this one is dreading this one. So this one is actually a part of a long form poem that I've done. It's called Falling in Love with Fleeting Moments. This is my short version, but it kind of details a type of like love where it's very like obsessive. I don't know if you're aware of like all the like Greek forms of love, but there's different types and they have names for it, which I like because like we just say love and I'm like, which one do you mean? What do you mean love? Like there's multiple types of love. And so this one is really personal, and so I don't do it very often, but I feel like it's kind of appropriate for this time. So.
Yes, do it.
I told him I was depressed over the weekend, and he gripped my shoulder in solidarity, meeting my gaze with understanding and condolence. I wonder what he's gone through. He's clearly crossed paths with melancholy to reach out and comfort me, his eyes sullen with genuine empathy. I constantly admire his kind features. He has a soft voice that has a stern but caring quality that can only be described as pleasantly soothing. Any compliments given by him are treasures kept to boost the self-esteem for a rainy day. I wonder if he knows he has such an effect on people. If so, he could manipulate someone easily with his disarming voice. It'd probably be terrifying to see him upset, though the curiosity is tantalizing. He likes to bum cigarettes off me, so I always make sure to bring plenty to share. I don't mind sharing, after all. He asked me for one while I was working, and I eagerly jumped up to fetch them, skipping along to make haste. When I gave him one, he said, "Thank you, my dear," which, of course, is truly meaningless, though my heart fluttered a bit. My brain fed on the dopamine those simple words triggered. It was a sick and twisted spell that I realized I was under in that moment. I knew he used me for cigarettes, and I did not care, nor wish to admit that I even liked it. Part of me wants him to use me again, a sick and twisted infatuation. Please make it stop. He recommended music to listen to from the Baroque period, concertos from the likes of Vivaldi's Four Seasons to Bach and other epic pieces. When he handed me that blue post-it note, handwritten, scrawled, and thoughtful, I felt overwhelmed with ecstasy at the idea he would share such things with me. There's nothing more precious to me than when a person shares their thoughts through sound. I'm constantly envisioning my head on his shoulder, listening to Vivaldi's Spring Concerto No. 1 in E major, whilst my fingers nervously trace the outline of his knuckles. How I wish to capture his hands on paper in detailed graphite. I've always had an appreciation for the human form, and his is no exception. I want to jump off the nearest building and fall into his arms. I want to feel him skin to skin, eyes to eyes, breath to breath, a needle to my veins, a gulp of air after drowning. Pure, unadulterated pleasure is what I imagine it would feel like. I want to know what he's like when he falls asleep. He probably snores, but I would still adore to watch his chest rise and fall. I wish to know his intimacy. I hope he thinks of me late into the evening, fighting his desires as he drifts into the dream state. Doubtful, but I still ponder. It is a dangerous line to cross, and I want it bad. What can I do except write it all down and shove it out of my mind and pretend it's not happening? Sometimes I look into his eyes longer than I should, and I try to give a hint, a tiny spark, a wistful longing that maybe he can understand how I see him, what I feel for him, and that hopefully he feels it too. Look at me, and I'll inspire you. Yeah, I realize a lot of my love poems are like really unrequited love, so it's like
It's like
kind of funny.
It's like it's giving yearning. It's giving
It's
so
giving
much
yearning.
yearning.
So this one is actually some older poems. I haven't done in a while. I used to perform them at Campfire. They're two-parters. These have like a story. So the first one is called Hanagokoro, which I studied Japanese, and I'm also like half Latina, so like I kind of sprinkle in languages into my poetry a little bit. Hanagokoro means like fleeting hearts. It's like flower and heart, so it's like fleeting. And then the other one is mizugokoro, which is an expression. It's like literally like water and heart, but it's like kind of it's an expression for like, if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. So this is like there are two parts to this. So the first one, Hanagokoro. I let the sadness in again. It flew like a summer breeze right through an open window. How many times will I repeat this refrain? My capricious heart, like flowers in a bed, they sway away from me. My thoughts, they wander a ways away. How must I pray? Forehead to the ground, I'm human after all, making fickle mutual favors to false gods. A year passes in a blink, though not as long as you'd think, until all that is left is the infinite. Drink up your sadness in one sip, child. What more is there left is only an ocean of tears. There's nothing left to fear except the final moments of loneliness. And then Mizugokoro. A flower blooming with petals unfurling, one by one, is what I imagine your kiss feels like. Like a warm breeze while riding a bike. Brushing your skin, even with my fingertips, leaves me thinking about how a single touch feels immense. I feel so aware, so alive when I'm with you, but I'm never with you. You're the sand slipping through my fingers, my time I want so much to linger, but time is our enemy. It's never been the right time for us, and it kills me. To watch you all these years and hold it in so tight. I want to catch your tears and hold you tenderly at night. The forehead kisses and everlasting happiness, all just what if and wishes. Fantasizing about the moments we could have, I wish you knew how much your existence coincides with mine. How I owe you a lifetime. But we'll never get that timeline. I'm not even sure you'd want it anyway. Sorry, y'all. This so deep, like getting into like the real like crazy shit. Oh man.
We love crazy shit.
Thank you. You know, like yeah, it's just picking some of these poems like and curating it around sensuality is I really just kind of put it all into like a perspective of like love. And for me, love is very complicated.
Oh yeah.
So, this poem is recent, and it's about a recent breakup, and I'm still kind of working through it because, as you'll see, these poems progress into realizing trauma, and that trauma like is important into how I view love. Like Roderick brought up how like marriage is such a big thing. I'm gonna do Death of a Marriage, which is about my parents breaking up. And it was very traumatic, and so I really applaud the people who just like push through and really like, you know, love and like for the sake of loving and like be able to really just like, you know, be themselves with the person and like, you know, just like find that happiness and celebrate it, honestly. Celebrate that shit, because that is so worth holding on to. This one's called Love Story. I exist for love, but at what cost? He only cared about the love I could give, but never about who I was. I exist to be used and desired, a shadow of your heart, mirror of your soul, trying so hard to reflect what you wanted. I wanted to be perfect for you. If that meant sacrificing everything I thought I was, down to the very last loyalty left in me, an absolute fool. Until I imploded into a chaotic resonance, shaking my entire worldview, core beliefs that I thought were true. Now just back to the daily programmed routine of sadness and melancholy. Isolationist despair, desperate for hands to hold and eyes that say I love you, but finding nothing in this desolation. Why couldn't I be the perfect object of your adoration? Why couldn't I be the one you wanted to talk to every morning? It hurts the way a memory does when you struggle to remember every exact detail, only to realize and accept that you will never remember it, and it will never return. Daily loneliness creeping in a slow burn, nightly weeping until exhaustive slumber. Existing for love was the mistake, but not by choice, since being a slave to love is all I've ever known. As far back as my farthest memory, it's always been the same unrequited love story.
Yeah.
Woo! Thanks for helping me through my trauma, guys. So, yeah, this is the one I was talking about. Death of a Marriage. It's about my parents. They were together for like 20 years, and it really fucked me up when they like split up. And I was just like, you know, I was in my 20s. I was like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm not a kid, so I'll be fine, right? No, that shit was like, damn, love doesn't exist. No, I'm kidding. I was just like, damn, you guys couldn't make that work for like 20 years and you threw it all away? Okay. But like, not salty about it. Just wrote a poem about it. So. Okay. I've never been married because it's unrealistic for me, since I never stick around long enough for them to love me, or even worse, I do, and they're infected by my melancholy. Almost 30 and no kids or husband, not even an inkling or hint. But I've had a myriad of lovers, still none can be enough because mother knows best, I guess, because she wants me to have it all. The man, the white picket fence, the 2.5 kids, without consideration that there could be an alternative, that lovers can live without the heteronormative dichotomies. There's more than just monogamy. Maybe this life has more to give than passing down the genetic familial pain, generational trauma that goes unsaid in breath but expresses in genotypes. See, I should have been my mother's third abortion, but I was lucky enough to become the one who would have to be burdened by her crushing expectations, where she poured all her love but held back her truth. How could I learn to trust when lying was so easy, and being a golden child of hopeful opportunity, my parents' long-term investments, disregarding that a child is a non-consenting participant, a possible dissident that would break away from their indoctrination. Yes, I was rebellious and unruly, but I was also open-minded and sensitive. Too kind for my own good, naive and trusting even when it all ended up being lies. Now I don't know what to believe. This American dream my immigrant mom wanted so badly, she projected onto me, expects me to make the same mistakes, even though we do not have the same dream of a man who can provide. Empty promises, a house with its overinflated mortgage, the peeling paint on the fence worn down by the elements, the kids who will laugh and play, but know and suffer, my faded downward spiral because mommy can't seem to stop talking about reality and fiction, hyperstitional metaphysics and that magic exists in the entropy of the universe, that this cosmic joke is both real and fictional. And it's a fucking clown world. My kids would turn out normal and fine and watch me decline into madness. Is this what mother wanted for me? Was this her dream? Don't think, just be. Learning of my life, understanding who I am, I know she must love and hate me, all at the same time, because she wants to see me suffer the same way, the way a human should, because we're all just numbers in the systemic game. If she meant it when she said she loves me, then she would let me be the person I am without condescending that I'm fucking my life up because I don't have a man. I have lovers because I know who I am, and I like making people happier than me. Alright, I'm on my last poem, guys.
You made it.
Yeah, this one is new shit.
New shit.
Thank you, all the campfire family out here. This one is called Intimacy. This one is basically surrounding, like, I mean, I've gone to therapy, I've done it all. Chaos magic, I do it all. So somehow, some way, I still struggle with this, like, one thing. And, like, it's definitely from, like, childhood issues. But either way, like, yeah, my parents splitting up and all of this shit, like, definitely weighs on me. And so... It's probably like TMI, sorry. But yeah, it's just like it's affected me, and so it's made me write poetry in a way, and so like that's what I'm going to be sharing with you tonight. How that relates to sensuality, it's hard because it's hard for me to want to be like sensual to me is like I like sleeping next to people. I like just being with people. I like the cerebral aspects of like being with someone. It's not always about sex. And so I do like sex, but like it's just like all of that together kind of cohesively brings it, and you just want to be close to somebody. So to me, that's what this poem is about the intimacy that I crave about being close to somebody who can kind of like understand. So yeah. I want you to want me the way I want you. If I hear it's only been 3 days, one more time, I'll cut up my own beating heart and rip it apart because I don't need it anymore. My anxiously attached love language does not translate because here I am grasping for you when I sleep. And yeah, you think it's cute, but it's a manifestation of childhood trauma. I'm really reaching out for my mama who wasn't there when I was scared to sleep alone. No, it's not cute to deal with this every time I'm at home trying to get a good night's rest when all I want is someone to realize I need them next to me to feel safe. Stay with me, please, or just leave me alone. It's my suffering to bear this lack of touch and warmth. I shudder and freeze in this ocean in which I'm falling in my dreams. Nightmares where I drown in this panic attack, and when I wake up alone, it doesn't feel like home. I'm sorry I didn't have like sexier shit for you guys. That was Margaret's job. Oh, my shit is really dark.
That was great, Steph.
Thank
Come
you.
on. Come on. And as everyone has noticed and said, that sensuality comes in a lot of forms and ways. And so, you know, it's not just fucking. Although my next poem is about fucking.
Yay!
So this seems like a safe space. So my name is Shwa Laytart. I'm a sex addict and a drug addict.
Yay!
And this next poem is a little bit about both those. My love of sex, drugs, magic.
Yay!
So we have one last poet after this. I'm going before them, and then I'll be closing up because I do not want to follow that poet, even though this is a sexy poem. So let me knock this one out, and we'll get on with the rest. Divine pleasures. I want to take you. Come with me to the Almighty and float with the stars in heaven. I want to take you. Come with me to meet the Almighty and dance through the halls of Valhalla. I want to take you, come with me to meet the Almighty and swim through the rivers of Nirvana. I want to take you to the highest heights. I want to bathe you in your vibrant visualizations. I want to remind you there's meaning through full body sensations. Come with me, get high with me, and let us dive in the divine pleasures.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So, thank you very much. I appreciate my addictions being applauded. So I did not want to follow this next poet and they saved us tonight. They came in when we obviously had some poets that couldn't make it, so we're so very happy. And the first name that came up when we were thinking like who could we replace was Tina. Because Tina the Silent Poet is secret poet. Sorry, did I say tiny? Silent. I had that joke earlier. That's why I fucked it up. Because Tina's just gonna be up here silently and in our minds, as I was saying. So yes, everything she says is sensual. Her poetry comes out and it's magic and it's erotic and it's beautiful. And I'm just so stoked that we were able to get Tina up here. Please, Tina, thank you. Close this house out.
Secret poet.
Yes, thank you. All right. Well, thank you for hyping me up. Let's see if I can live up to that. So I'm going to slide this over a little bit because I need to.
Even that's sexy.
Tina,
Because I need to.
can you throw me my water?
You know.
I left it underneath.
I can. Yes, absolutely. And you know what? On that note, I'm going to grab my water right here just in case I need a little
First day.
So, let me just get situated here. And I've got to get the boots right. All right, so for those of you who don't know me, let me introduce myself. I am Tina, the secret poet. I am the keeper of secrets. I strive to encode them. I write for you. I write for me. I write for those who feel but can't find their words. And I share to release what has been kept for too long. And I share so that you know you're not alone. But still, I keep the secrets. And it's time. But shh, don't tell all my secrets, okay? But I'm going to share some with you tonight. All right, so to start off with, I have the theme of tonight is sensual, so naturally I thought plumbing. Don't you think plumbing and sensual, sexy go together when you see your plumber? Well,
Wait, what?
just kidding, but I rose to the occasion, and this is called the water faucet drip.
Ooh.
So let me just pull it up here. Water faucet drip. Brushing his hand against the nozzle. Drip, 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 drip. It's beginning, but it's not turned on quite yet. So this time his hand reaches out with a firm grip. Now both hands out, reaching out. Each one doing their part, because he knows his way around. This is his form of art. Finding just the right balance of hot and cold for an almost euphoric, steady flow. Feels like the sun beating down on a hot summer day just as you get in the pool. And the floodgates are released. And it is so good. Getting lost in the moment. Water's faucet is still flowing. Might need a life jacket soon. I'm taking it in all one last time. Because this moment can't last forever, though that would be nice. But it's time to turn off the water faucet now, but not quite all the way off, though. Leaving just a little drip, 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 drip. Ensuring that there will be a return trip. See, the plumber has somewhere else to go now. He has a water faucet at his own house that also needs to be taken care of. Drip, 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 drop. All right. the next one is, we've talked about a little bit, we were having a conversation outside about sometimes poems are really dark, sometimes they're super loving, and sometimes there's a little mix of both in there because dark sensuality exists also. So this one, the title is There is a Thin Line Between Pleasure and Pain. And it's not easy for me to say this out loud, but it's an intimate night of poetry, and you guys are going to keep all my secrets. So, I'm attracted to violence. Something about it really just turns me on. The smell of danger excites me. And destructive is my own distorted love language. Swift and intense exertion of force and power. It's demented, I know, but I've come to see it as a form of affection. There must be some glitch in the wiring in my brain because sometimes pain and pleasure, they feel the same.
Real.
There is a very thin line between pleasure and pain. And even though the marks remain with disdain, I have a taste for the flavor of blood. Relishing the cuts just to know I can bleed. The zeal for contentment, torment. Endorphins and adrenaline are real, and they are feel-good chemicals, and I react. And there is a thin line between pleasure and pain. Put your hands on me. Hold me. Tighter. Choke me until my lips turn blue and I'm gasping for air, and leave fingertip bruises and handprints on me so I can remember how it feels to be with you long after you've gone. Hold me so my head is upside down until I get dizzy from the blood rush, and just when you think I've had enough, hold it a little bit longer. Push me, shove me, show me your strength, wrestle me to the ground, slam me into the wall, pin me up against the door. Passion, pleasure, pain. What do you do when they become one and the same? And there is so very thin line between pleasure and pain. And somewhere along that line, I've been thinking that maybe I should find a way to redefine what it means to feel good. Wondering if maybe I should stop and take a breath. Maybe get some help. Maybe give it a little rest before I let you love me to death. How am I doing so far? Am I living up to the hype?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So on this one, I need a little bit of audience participation. Can I get that?
Yeah.
All right. So the title of this one is Surrender. My goal of this is to get you to surrender. And if you're feeling it, when I guess do that. I want to hear you say surrender.
Okay.
All right. Surrender. Can I surrender? I want to. I want to give in. I want you to see through my walls built from the perversion of love. I want to be the shadow of the glimpse that you try to sneak in the morning. Surrender. Let go.
Surrender.
I want my scent to be the essence of your eroticism. and my taste to linger on the tip of your tongue until you bite my lip from anticipation, because I am the breath that you crave. Surrender.
Surrender.
I want to be the warmth of the blood rush that consumes your body until you are devoured by the desire for the touch of my skin. Give in to me. Surrender. I want my name to be the sweet scream that breaks your silence. I want my aura to leak from every pore that you have and surround your very being until I melt back into you. Surrender.
Surrender.
Surrender to me. I want you to wound me from the pierce of love itself until the moon hears the cries of the siren that sleeps within me. And we become thunder beneath the sky. And in doing so, the magnetic force between us is so much that it confuses the stars. Can we surrender? We can. We can surrender. Can we surrender?
Surrender.
I want to discover my twin spirit in you. For no two halves make any of us whole. I surrender.
Woo!
All right. So, let me find this last one for you. I got one last one.
Yay!
Thank you. The title of this one is, anybody here speak French? I don't either, but I know a couple words, so I know the title. It is French. And if you don't know what it means by the end of this poem, then I didn't read it right. The title is Ne plus ultra. Your essence has sparked a ravenous fire deep within me, yearning to feel you touch me, and I am intoxicated by your scent. I'm aroused by your voice and your taste. It's venomous, and I hunger for your poison. And my appetite for you intensifies with your libidinous eyes. And for you, I have acquired lascivious desires and salacious secrets. Give way to them. Besiege me. I am agonizing for your passion to pierce me and make me scream like the furies in euphoria, caught up in your ecstasy storm, until my tempered breath breaks free, because it can no longer exist just inside my body. Whew. Bewildered and disoriented by this outbreak of excitement. This savage ferociousness cannot be contained. Be my king, and I will be your queen, and we will have our carnal crowns. Thank you. I am the secret poet, and I shared my secrets with you.
Love you, Tina.
Love you, Tina.
Amazing.
Well, now you all know who that was, so I don't need to. You can see why I didn't want to follow that. Yeah, I'm dorky sexy. Thank you, Tina. Thank you all. This has been a fantastic night, an orgy of words, and I'm so excited that I got to hear it all. I'm excited. I don't know about you guys. So we're gonna have to get out of here now. So thank you all for coming out. We are going to take everybody over to the bookstores. My wife's pointing over there.
Yes.
We are going to head over there if you guys would like to come,
Yes.
hang out. We do still have some drinks we need to get rid of. But thank you everyone for coming out, and we hope we can see you all again. Thanks to our poets.